Hello and welcome to Whiskey Resource. My name is Mark and this is whiskey review number 5. I've been waiting for this one for quite a while. I recently picked up a bottle of this whiskey from a local shop in Jesmond, Newcastle. I paid £39.99 for it, which is a little bit less than the average retail price, which is £42.45. The whiskey, Springbank 10-year-old from the Cambeltown region of Scotland. Now, Cambeltown, or rather Springbank, are quite unique amongst the distilleries in Scotland in that they carry 1% of their process of whisky making on site. Springbank, founded in 1828, was on the site of an illicit distillery that was run by a guy called Archibald Mitchell. We're now in the 5th generation of the Mitchell family own the Springbank distillery. And of course, Springbank themselves have got their long row and the Hazelburn whiskies also produced on site. I'd go check out their website, and if you haven't already, familiarise yourself with their whiskies. Go and have a look at their whiskies as well. I've never had a Springbank. I've had Cambeltown provided by Glen Scotia, which I'll be doing some reviews of at some point in the future. But this is my first endeavour into the world of Springbank. So, retail price, as I mentioned, you're looking at an average of £42.45, which is, it's slightly more than you pay, for a 10-year-old than you would pay, but given the independent nature of the Springbank distillery and the fact that it's quite unique in, as I mentioned, in their manufacturing process, I think we'll let them off a bit for the price. It is non-chill filtered and it is natural colour. It actually says here on the label information about that. It's also 46% ABV. So if you factor all those things in, it gets a value score of 95.76. So it's got a value score of 96 out of 100, which is an absolutely incredible value score. It's incredible to think that a whiskey can get so close to having 100, and that's even before we've tasted it. So we'll see what it actually tastes like now. So I'm going to crack it open. I'm going to carry on and get this one done, because I've been looking forward to this whiskey for quite some time. So I've kind of removed some of the foil at the top so I can get into it a bit quicker. Pop it open and give myself a wee pour. Okay, so what did the distillery say about this particular whiskey? Well, on the nose, they said that it's orchard fruit. They kind of say it's pear. It's got peat and vanilla on the nose, and it's got malt there as well. So let's see. It is fruity. The sweetness that's coming from it, yeah, it's between an apple and a pear. It's all apple and pears. It is a bit vanilla-y. And yes, I'm getting peat. I'm not sure about vanilla. At the moment, the peat is overriding the vanilla, if there is any, and it is fruity, sweet fruity smell. It's quite an enjoyable nose. Now, as I say, I've only had a Glen Scotia. Previously, I've had 3 different Glen Scotias, and they're unique amongst the whiskies I've had so far on my journey. They are quite unique and they are very enjoyable. So it comes as no surprise that I've been looking forward to trying another Cambeltown whiskey. So on the palate. Okay, it's got that unmistakable, I'm going to call it unmistakable now, Cambeltown tang, because it's very similar in lots of ways to what I've experienced on the Glen Scotias. But the distillery say, out on the taste, it's malt, it's oak, it's spice, cinnamon, vanilla and nutmeg, all going on there, with a finish which gets sweeter and saltier. I would say yes to a lot of that. Maybe the oak If anything, I'm not quite feeling that quite yet. Maybe a touch of water might help with that. It's definitely salty and definitely got a peat, a noticeable peat. It's the combination of the saltiness and the peat, again, reminds me of Talisker as a point of reference. But again, they're all coastal distilleries with that unique salt, seaside, ocean influence. I'm yet to discover vanilla. If it's there, maybe it'll come with water. It is sweet. I wouldn't say it's overly sweet. I'm going to pop a bit of water in. So at 46%, it's not coming across too hot. Now the nose has released some more of that peat. It's very, very enjoyable. Salty, sweet, peaty. The fruit's eluding me at the minute. As I say, it's apple or pears. It could either. It was a neck pour, a newly opened bottle. This needs to now open up a bit. It needs to oxidise a little bit. So I'm sure some of those flavours will start to release themselves. Obviously this is a bit hurried in this video. I'm not letting it sit there breathe. They do say that a minute in a glass for a year in the cask, so you should be letting it sit for 10 minutes, let it start open up, let those oils release themselves with a bit more water. I haven't given it that chance, so I will be coming back and doing a re-review of this sometime this year, maybe in the next 6 months, and we'll see how it gets on. But right now on the score front, it's an 89 for me. It's a superb whiskey. It's a superb value whiskey, and it's definitely one that I'd consider adding to my permanent collection. Obviously there's a lot more whiskies out there to explore. The 10-year-old is readily available. You can pick them pretty much everywhere. When I've done me research at the prices, some of the bigger players didn't have any in stock. It's probably a reflection of the fact that it's popular and it's been selling out. Just yesterday, Springbank released their 2020 release of their cask strength 12-year-old, and that sold out. Well, online yesterday it was available. I've checked again today and sold out. Whether I care get one or not, we'll see. We'll see, because I've got a whiskey journey that I'm taking part in, and I'd like to explore as many whiskies as I can, but I don't necessarily want to be paying a lot of money, because I don't have a lot of money to spend on whiskies. So I'm having to be very choosy to what I buy. But yes, 89 as an overall score. Great value whiskey. I'll be looking forward to testing this a bit more and doing another review later in the year. Cheers for now.